Made it. Finally got this package in the mail. I know what this is. Frick yeah. Okay, so today is July 1st. We're taking a ride. I'm gonna edit this voiceover over the footage that I have of me going to Atlantic City. Last week on Monday, I had taken my bike out to Hoboken. I ended up getting a Can-Am 3-wheeler. I'm getting ahead of myself. So I did take a 2-wheel motorcycle course. I've been wanting to buy a motorcycle for years. I took a 2-wheel motorcycle course on how to learn how to ride a motorcycle, a 2-wheel motorcycle, at the Harley-Davidson. This was like 2 years ago, 2 summers ago. And my work schedule got in the way of my learning, and I would end up going to the classroom version. There was a classroom version on the first day, and then there was a classroom version along with parking lot trials the second day, and then the third day was going to be just parking lot trials and then the final test. After the classroom stuff, I had to go to work. By the time we actually got to the part where we were riding the motorcycles, I was learning to ride the motorcycles on like no sleep for 24 hours, which is not when you're supposed to be learning how to ride a motorcycle. Operate heavy machinery when you haven't slept in 24 hours, not a good idea. So I ended up falling off the Harley-Davidson and scraping my arm and scraping my leg. My leg was bleeding, and I just went home and I was like really sad because I didn't get to learn how to ride a 2-wheel motorcycle. So now, 2 years later, I learned how to ride a Can-Am. I took the course, I passed the course with flying colors, I did the best in the class, and now I'm riding a 3-wheeler. I bought a Can-Am and I'm really happy with it, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and I feel so safe on it too, which is really important. I'm very stable. I don't have to worry about balancing on two wheels. And when you're riding a three-wheeler and you have everything open, you're not like in a cabin. You don't feel boxed in a car cabin. You have a lot of awareness around you, which is really important. You know, everything is open. They design helmets to facilitate your peripheral vision, so you can see all around you, and it's very simple. It's very easy. The Can-Am operates like a car. It's twist and go. It's automatic. You don't have to mess with gear shifting, which was something that I struggled with in the class. So, yeah, I'm so happy with it. I just really wanted something that would allow me to be like open and free on the road, and it's so much fun to ride. I haven't gotten into any scary situations yet. So far, so good. I'm a pretty safe driver. Lots and lots of fun. I really wanted to buy something for myself and invest in my own happiness and just get myself out there and buy something that would give me an excuse to go out more and be adventurous and all that. So I have to get out more and see things and discover new locations, scenic locations, things like that. Find better places to go fishing and kayaking and everything. I really want it to be a great summer and really get things going for myself, because I never really have many ideas for what to do in the summertime, and I want to discover more things, more fun things to do. So I really want to talk to you guys. I have to talk to you guys for like 30 minutes and like fill up the space for what I'm going to do in Blender. So I have to figure out what I'm going to say and what I'm going to talk about. So you guys saw me. I went to Hoboken in the beginning, in the introduction. I went to Hoboken. That was really nice. I don't think I've ever been to Hoboken, really, aside from a class trip. I think we went in middle school to Hoboken to ride the ferry to New York City. And that's the only time I went to Hoboken. I always see people in Hoboken and they're taking their pictures. The NPC people are taking their pictures for Instagram by the water with the city behind them. It's like the place to go to see New York City on the skyline, and it was very beautiful, and all the lights and everything. I was shocked because I haven't been to the city in the longest time, and for some reason I thought the Empire State Building was like the tallest building in New York City. I haven't been there in forever, and to see all of the skyscrapers towering over the Empire State Building, I'm like, damn, I've been living under a rock. Like, it sounds so stupid. I thought the Empire State Building was so tall in the skyline, and to see it so small compared to the other buildings was so funny. So yeah, so that was Hoboken. Navigating all of the city traffic and trying to get into the city. It was a bit intimidating, but you get used to it after a while. I can't navigate fast like a regular motorcycle would. You can't go in between the cars, which is not very legal, but people do it anyway. It's not realistic for a three-wheeler, unfortunately, so I'll just be sitting there in the heat and the traffic, waiting to get to where I want to go, but it doesn't make it any less fun for me. It is pretty fun. It's fun just being out there and seeing everything, and it's an attention getter. People like to look at you on that thing, and it's the design is just amazing. I always love the Can-Am designs because they're so cool. I love the two wheels in the front as opposed to a trike with the two wheels in the back. It's a different look. It's very futuristic and stylish, and I love it, especially the Can-Am Ryker. They're smaller, they're more sleek, they're just really cool. Really, really cool. So I'm so glad I got this. I got a great deal on it on Craigslist, and the seller was super nice, super nice. Answered any and all questions that I had, and it was a pretty low mileage for being the third owner of it. It's low mileage. It was like 3,500 miles when I bought it. And those things can last beyond, I believe, 60,000 miles and beyond if you take really good care of it, which I will. Yeah, super exciting. Super exciting. I look forward to having a great summer on it. So that weekend, I took it out to Atlantic City, and that was like a 2.5 hour to 3 hour ride away. And that was hard. Riding is like a lot of work, actually. It wears on you, and I went I went during the weekend that it was raining. It was just like I saw that it was raining, and I was like, you know what, I shouldn't ride it, but I'm going to. You know, you got to challenge yourself to ride in the rain. So I did. I rode it in. It was a downpour when I went out, and I was like, oh, this was so stupid. But I did it. It was fun. It was fine. But when I got to Atlantic City, I was like so tired. So tired. Look, let's just stand in the middle of the street. That's great. Jesus Christ. Okay, so what about the Atlantic City trip? Yeah, so it was raining. It was pretty exhausting. As a beginner rider, riding, it really takes it out of you. I went to Atlantic City, and as soon as I got there, I took like a 3-hour nap in the hotel, and I didn't have time to do much because we had to check out. I was meeting my dad there, and we had to check out at like Sunday at noon, and I got there late Saturday morning. There's only so much you can do in like one day, one night. We stayed at Bally's, and Bally's had a cool club. They recently put in a club called The Yard, and The Yard was really cool. I went there and I saw the live music, and there were lots of people. Like there was like this one girl who was doing the worm on the floor, on the dirty floor. I didn't want to show her because I don't like filming people, but I don't like filming people in public. Like I respect people's privacy to just have fun wherever they want to have fun, and I just think we should, in general, leave people alone. But she was really funny. It was really funny towards the end of the night when like they were packing everything up, and they were closing at like 2 a.m. and there was a DJ girl, and she just like was playing music until the very end, and people were dancing and like kind of emptying out the club, and it was really funny. And then I was still wide awake, and so I went into the casino, and I found a slot machine that really liked me until it didn't really like me. I try not to spend too much money when I'm at Atlantic City, and I don't go out of my way to go to Atlantic City. That's not a place that I go for myself. I usually go because someone else is going, like my dad, or if my friends are going, I would go if they were going to. That would be the only reason that I go. I have pretty good self-control, which is good. So I'm not going to go out of my way to go somewhere that's going to like eat up all my money. It's not on my list of fun things to do. Yeah, so on my way to Atlantic City, I found that I had to fill up my Can-Am at the gas station maybe 2 or 3 times. Well, I had to stop to use the restroom and pick up a couple things, but for a 2 or 3 hour ride, I have to fill up my Can-Am maybe twice. So the gas tank isn't that big, but I do get more miles to the gallon than I would in my car because it's a much smaller vehicle and it's more lightweight and the engine is more efficient. Especially because my beat up little sedan is so old. It's almost as old as I am. No, it's not that old. But so I took a scenic route. I was trying to avoid the tolls when I first went there, so I took a bit of a scenic route. I saw a lot of fields. I saw a lot of just empty fields, farmhouses. I thought maybe I would see some horses or something, but I didn't see any horses because of the rain. They were probably in the stables. It was interesting to see different parts of New Jersey, and I just wish that it was a more beautiful day, but eventually I made it, and it was really foggy. Usually you can see on your way to Atlantic City, you can see all of the big buildings, you can see like all the big billboards, and it's just wide open when you get there and you're on the expressway to Atlantic City. It seems like it takes forever, but you see a lot, and you see all of the casinos and the large buildings in the distance, but you couldn't see that on that day, it was very overcast, very foggy. And you'll see I was on the beach, and I was capturing all of the buildings that were just lost in the fog. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so on the boardwalk, they had a lot of things. They had a lot of different attractions. They had live music. They had all these different restaurants, which I wanted to try. If I had like all the money in the world and the biggest stomach in the world, I would try all of these places because they just look so good. And to try all the seafood, to try all the different boardwalk pizzas and zeppelis, funnel cakes, all of that stuff. I love that food so much. It's so good. But we ended up going to a buffet. Yeah, don't go to a buffet. If you're at Atlantic City, don't go to the buffets because they're basically like Chinese food buffets. Like, you could get pretty much the same quality food where you are at a Chinese food buffet. It's basically the same shit. I would try one of the quality restaurants on the boardwalk the next time I go, or at least one of the boardwalk vendors. I feel like I'm rushing this, and I don't want to rush this. Originally, my plan was I was going to drive around tonight, and I was going to talk to you guys, and then I would ride around on the Can-Am and try to see if anyone's doing any fireworks displays around New Jersey, but I have to go to work tonight, so I don't want to rush this. I might continue talking to you guys on another day when I'm feeling more up to talking. It's hard filling up 30 minutes and trying to do Blender at the same time, and I'm like, what am I going to talk about while I play over this? Like, I play over my Can-Am footage, my Can-Am travels, over my narration, or narrating over my Can-Am travels, because they were very long, and Blender is a very long process, and it's like, I'm not going to just have Can-Am video on one side of the screen, or on a little corner of the screen, without me talking over it. It's like, so trying to figure out how I'm going to arrange story in my editing brain. This is all over the place, I'm sorry. I still haven't even talked about getting back from Atlantic City. That was very short. That was like, there's not much to talk about there. I mean, it wasn't a short trip, but there's just not that much to talk about. I actually took the Parkway the entire way, and I paid all of the tolls. There were like 3 or 4 tolls that I had to pay, and I don't have Easy Pass, so I was fucking around with getting all the cash and the change out of my pocket every time I went. And there was this one nice toll booth lady who was like, "Where's your rain gear?" Because I was hitting a couple different little downpours on my way back.
Where's your rain gear?
I wasn't.
Rain gear?
It was nice when I left.
Well, just give me the dollar, honey.
I got it.
The whole time.
I got a dime.
And you might get poured on up ahead too, because the rain's going that way.
Oh, thank you.
Just be careful out here, honey. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Be safe driving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day. But for the most part, it was pretty clear going back. It was a far cry from going there. So I'm riding, and I hit like quite a few delays, and I was at one point I was kind of stuck behind this bus. I was in the lane adjacent to this bus, and it was kind of ahead of me, so it was kicking back all of the debris and the dirt into me, and it was hitting my hand, which is another reason to wear gloves. I wasn't wearing gloves, and another reason to wear gloves, the primary reason to wear gloves, is if you're on a 2-wheel motorcycle, you're more likely to fall off, you're more likely to scrape up your hands, especially at a high speed, so you're always supposed to wear gloves. But on my Can-Am, I tend not to wear gloves because I'm not really worried about falling off or getting into an accident as much as I would be on a 2-wheel motorcycle, but you're still supposed to wear gloves, especially for when you're at a high speed and you're getting hit by debris. And another reason why you're supposed to wear gloves is my hands were actually getting sunburned on that ride. The sun was like beating down on them for a couple hours. So yeah, wear gloves, protect your skin, protect everything. And also, being stuck behind that bus, they kept blowing out this really nasty black smoke into the air, and it was just not pleasant. But I got to see more of the industrial parts of New Jersey. Filling up at the gas station, I got gasoline on my Can-Am. It just came dripping out like crazy out of the nozzle, and I thought I got all of the last drips out. Just when you think you're gonna get all the last drips out of gasoline, it just drips all over your Can-Am, and I was like, oh shit. So I'll see you in the next update. I'm gonna put this in the editor and see how much time I've covered in the space of this video and see if all of this is going to add up right. So I'll see you guys in the next update. So it's July 4th. I just woke up like 25 minutes ago. It's like 9 p.m. So when I got home from work this morning, I started editing, and then when I was done editing and stuff, I went to sleep, and now I'm awake, and now I really gotta get going if I'm gonna see any fireworks tonight. So I'm gonna get on the bike and go and see what I can find. So that was my little July 4th adventure. I went to see the fireworks. As you saw, I put a compilation together of all the fireworks that I saw on my GoPro while I was on my ride. Unfortunately, it wasn't really much. I went in the direction of New York City thinking that I might see a lot more firework activity in that area, but I didn't see anything. I didn't see any kind of fireworks happening on the New York City horizon. I figured I might catch something from the Macy's fireworks display, but it wasn't going on. I didn't really even know what time it was going on. I just thought I would head that direction and I would see at least something, but I didn't see anything. Instead, I just kind of stuck to whatever I could find along the way and on the way back, which is what you saw in that compilation that I just put together. So, I mean, I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. It was adventurous. It was an experience. I rode around for an hour. I had to kind of wrap it up a little bit early because I was a little bit nervous that I might encounter some drunk drivers on the road, but I had to go to work as well, so couldn't be out too late. Anyway, now we're back to this sculpt. I know it's a bit of a weird place to come back to this sculpt and pick up where we left off, but that's just how the sculpting video is organically coming together, I guess. It's really hard to edit this together and have it make all of this sense. I hope it is making sense for you. Please let me know in the comments below if you are enjoying this series so far. If you have any constructive criticism, I would love to hear it, because I want to start taking my YouTube channel a bit more seriously and eventually monetize it, hopefully, if I get a lot of views, if this ever gains enough traction. If I'm going to monetize it, I want to monetize videos that are valuable, and so that I don't feel bad about monetizing it because it's a valuable video. And I'm very hard on myself. I'm like, what would be worth monetization? And I want to work very hard in order to make a channel worth monetizing. So any constructive criticism that you have, please leave it down in the comments below. Like this video if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, help me out in the algorithm, help me grow if you are liking this series so far. This is going to continue to build on itself. Right now we have the sculpt almost done. I'm going to, in the next episode, work on the finer details of the sculpt, and then we're going to start retopologizing the sculpt. It's a lot of information that I don't want to bog you down with too much, because it's a lot to explain, and I will be explaining that in other videos beyond this one. So we'll get to that. But for now, we are finishing up this body, and the next episodes will build upon what we've made so far. We've made the head in the first episode, we've made the body in this episode, and we will go on to make more and build upon this character in the next episodes. And it won't just stop at this character. This will be part of a universal character library that we will be building on, and then we will move on to maybe environments and other things like that. It's exciting. I look forward to continuing story and seeing how far I can take it. So I hope you'll join me along the way, and thank you so much for watching as far as you've watched so far. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.